we're out here in this bean field, and this is exactly why we do these demonstrations, to show that what farmers deal with on a daily basis, and every season what they deal with in some of these high deer density areas, and kind of what the sportsmen need to think about when they're selecting their food plot seed. This is a stand of soybeans. We showed you how we planted it. We showed you some updates. It really is surprising when you put these cages out, what it reveals about the pressure that these agronomic crops are under. If you look, there isn't a bean outside of the cages that's more than 8 to 10 inches tall. The deer have walked up and down these rows, and it looks like a runway in here for deer, and they've constantly mowed these back. And it's an impressive sight, actually, to see this 1.5 acres of soybeans just be constantly mowed back. This field was clean when we sprayed it. These are Roundup Ready soybeans, and so it was clear. And what should have happened is what's happening inside the fence here. The beans have expanded fully. You know, they're 2 feet tall, and they're shading down. There's no weeds around them. That's exactly what a soybean field should look like. Out here, we just have so much weed pressure now taking over the site. The deer will continue to come in and hit any regrowth. These beans are trying to flower, but being the first full week of August is just about behind us, it's not looking good. And I knew that going into this, and I don't expect them to set any pods. I don't know how they could. There's no leaf matter there. The beans are doing all they can just to push new leaves out as the deer eat them off. So I'm considering this not a failure by any means. This has fed those deer some key nutrition in a growing part of the season that they needed. You know, early spring, early summer. This has built their body mass back up. It's given them some key nutrition and some minerals. So really, I'm looking at this sort of along that line, that it was an early season food source. Now I got to figure out, how do I make it work for me? The weeds are a little bit too big for me to come over and hit with our boom and burn it down. I could possibly just come in here and sling some purple top turnips or some dwarfessic rape. And that's probably what I'm going to do to this, because so much of it has been eaten by deer, and I now face some added weed pressure. And so it's just important that the sportsmen and women see, and I know they've seen it, but this really quantifies home the impact that deer can have on these smaller food plots. And this is 1.5 acres. It's not a small food plot out in the middle of our prairie. So they find it. When they do, they keep coming back night after night after night. So just a quick update on what soybeans should look like versus what they do look like.